line art lesson. We're going to work with a Photoshop file of this snowboarder right here, and we're gonna make it shapes. So we're gonna make it different shapes in Illustrator. So these shapes will be similar to. It's gonna look like it's actually lines, but it's actually all shapes filled with a no fill or like a white fill. So they're gonna be shapes and not lines. But you can make them lines as well later on. But we're just gonna experiment how we can make this very rough snowboard image to find lines that we can actually work with. So you start off by downloading the snowboarder Photoshop file from the tracing line art lesson. So we download that one, so we have that one there. We're going to create a new file that is 6.5 width and 7 height. So you go over to Illustrator. I just opened my Illustrator program, so mine is a little messed up. I don't know still why it looks like this when I open it up, but it still works totally fine. So you go up to File and then New, and then we want the inches, and we want to have 6.5 width and then 7 height. I'm just going to double check that that's the measurements for this assignment. Click Create. And then here's our little file. So we want to open the snowboarder that we just downloaded it before. So we click File, we get Place, go to Recent, hopefully it pops up here. It did not, so I'm going to search for snowboarder, snow. See if it finds it. It did not. I'm just going to copy this name right here and then search in my computer to see if we can find it. There we go. I clicked so I searched my whole Mac. So we're going to open up this one, and it's going to follow your mouse right now. So we're going to click up here once and then click and drag so it covers most of the screen because we want to have it pretty big, right? So we see that what we're doing. So we're going to work with image trace right here again. I'm going to close that one. Don't need that one anymore. Don't need that one. So we're going to make sure that we have our snowboarder selected. If you do not have it selected, you go up to the selection tool and click once on the snowboarder. So this is an image right now. It is an image made in Photoshop, but it's still treated like an image. You can see that it says snowboarded PSD, which means it's a PSD file. So we're going to go to image trace. We're going to pull up our little image trace panel up here. And you can see that it kind of cut off some of the lines, and I want to make sure that they are more connected. It's going to make sure that we are doing everything we're supposed to be doing. Okay, so now we're going to just mess around with the settings in the image trace panel that we found right up here. We can go to presets, and we can go to, I don't know, 3 colors. It's not really colored, uncolored image, so maybe that was a mistake. But it looks still okay. We can try to go down to maybe sketched art. And that looks even better because now you can see that it connected all these lines that were previously broken. So you can play around with the threshold as well, pull it up a little bit, which makes the lines a little thicker. I can pull it down, which makes them a little thinner. And you can't really see that it's a snowboard anymore, so I'm going to pull it up a little more. And I'm kind of happy with that. So whenever you're happy with your result, you click on Expand, which will now expand the image, and this is the final result. Border, and you've come up with a result that you are happy with. We're going to move down to the next image, which is Spice Drawing. So this is not a Photoshop file like this one is, but we're still gonna treat it pretty much the same. So we want to download that one. Make sure we have that one downloaded. And then we are going to create a new Illustrator document. So I'm going to go over to File, and then New, and then we have our measurements. This is 5 width and 3.5 height. So I'm going to click that over here. and I totally forgot what I just said, 5 inches of width and 3.5 inches height. 5 width, oh, 5 width, 3.5 height. I don't know why it's like changing my settings. 3.5. There we go. Then we click create, and this is the image. This is our little artboard. We're gonna place the spices in here. So we go to file, and we already downloaded that one. So we go to place, go to recent. Hopefully it pops up here. It did not. Oh no, it did. Down there we go. We go to place, and then as you can see that it follows the mouse, so it's just waiting for us to place it somewhere on the artboard. So you can click up in the corner, click and drag, so it kind of fills up the artboard. So let's see what our next steps are. We placed that one, and because this is a JPEG, we got to make sure that it's not linked. You could do that when you placed the image, like before you go, when you went up to here, like file, place. But I totally forgot that, so I'm just gonna delink it, and you can do that by clicking embed right here. So it's not linked to our file anymore, it's actually part of the Illustrator file. So we can go to image trace, and a little box over here, so we'll bring up the image trace panel, and then you can mess around a little bit over here, just to make sure that it's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we are going to outline the image and click and make the threshold 190. So we click up here, which is the outline, and it might take some time for your computer, and then there we go, and 190. Make sure you have the preview button on. It's gonna take some time for this to like load. Let's see if this is working. There we go. So I think that's the result we want. And then we just need to click expand up here when we change it to the outline. And I totally forgot to do 190. Click enter. It's loading. There we go. And click expand. So with this still selected, so it just got selected automatically when I clicked expand. And then we're going to go over to Object and Group. Object and Group. And now we can deselect it. And now all of these separate lines are movable individually. You can move them. You can change the color. You can change the fill. If you want to change the color of the stroke, I can do that. Change the gray. You can just move them around and mix it up a little bit. Change the size, change the width, and whatsoever. So this is another way to do image trace using a JPEG. So that's it for this week's lesson.